five-step process in order to get your customer to say yes. It's as customers, and we are customers as well, we're subjected to so many messages, and it's very difficult for us to distinguish what's really relevant to us. And really your job as a business owner is to make it relevant, is to make it easy for your customer to say those words. So you kind of need to do a little bit of work up front in order to get your customer. You need to present the outcome that the customer wants. It's not about selling, it's presenting the outcome the customer wants. To know what the outcome is, you've got to kind of get a lot closer and find out. So number one is about really being clear about what your objective is. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get your customer to buy something? Are you trying to get your customer to engage more with you? Are you trying to get your customer, whatever it may be, because it's different businesses, so it's going to be a different objective that's personal to you and your business. So it's about being really clear, having an objective that's smart, so you've got a time scale. And on this, I always say to the businesses that I work with, is don't go from A to Z. Don't think I want Z. Actually chunk it down. If you want them to buy a new product, the middle stage might be to sample that product. Before that might be to clarify who that product is for. So that might be the first stage for people to self-select. This is something I might be interested in. So that may be your first stage. Once you've got a group of people that might be interested in your new product, the next thing is to get them to sample your new product. The next stage is to get them to buy your new product. So don't go to A to Z. Chunk it down to move your customer on that journey to get them to where you want them to be. Also, it helps you to understand your customer a lot better by moving them slowly through the process. So be really clear. Number one, be really clear about what you want to achieve. Number two is really about understanding your customer. Really what excites them? Really what are their wants and needs? What's their key problem? How can you solve their key problem? Really be clear about the answers to those questions. This gets you a lot closer to your target group of people. And a lot of that is going out and asking them, really, and recording their words. Really important, when you're selling to people, you're using their words, not your words, because it comes from a completely different perspective, and it's very much about their outcomes, not your selling your product or services. So that stage two is really to be clear about who you're targeting, what their needs are, what are you going to solve, how desperate does their problem need to be to motivate them into action. You need to know the kind of real motivator. Stage three is about your value. Really, and this goes back to what you can do that no one else can do in the way that you do it. What value, what's your differentiator? What can you do that's unique? What's important? Now, an example of that may be that you might be, do massages. Now there's going to be someone that really likes finding those knots and really likes to iron them out. So they're kind of more of a sports massage. It's not going to be a pleasant, relaxing process, but the objective is that you're going to get them to feel a lot better, more fluid after the massage. You could be the kind of person, and that's your thing, really kind of finding those knots, right, and ironing them out. It could be that you're the kind of massage therapist that actually sends people to sleep. It's quite relaxing, it's rejuvenating. You need to understand what's your value, what's the key thing that you can offer in the way that no one else can offer it. Once you've got that real kind of nugget, you need to then start communicating that. Don't just be a massage therapist, be the massage therapist that you really are, that you can do, that no one, you're the person that finds those knots. You're the person that sends that person to sleep. Whatever it might be, find your real differentiator, your real value. That's number three. Number four, it's about putting those things together now. So you've got the outcomes that the customer is looking for. You've got the value, the real nugget that you can offer. You're going to put those two things together in an offer statement. So this is really what's going to bring your customer to, oh, I identify with that, that's me, and that's what I really want. That's your offer. And do you see how you kind of start to put these things together and doing it in a more intelligent way that gets you a lot closer to the objective to get the customer to say yes? Is it resonating with you? Yeah? Great. Okay, so you've put your offer together. You need to go out and test it, because sometimes you slip into using your words and not their words. Sometimes it may be that the target group of people isn't refined enough. So you've already identified that target group of people. You've done that in stage 2. You probably know a few of them. It's not your whole market that you're dealing, but it's a few of them. Ask them. Test out your offer with those people. So you might, they might come into the shop, you might ring them up and you tell them the offer. And then you want to find out what hesitation they may have, what questions, what resistance they may have. Is it clear enough what you want them to do? You need to find out. So then you're going to take that information and refine your offer. It may be that you're refining the outcome or refining, your value. It may be the words, whatever it might be. It's really important because we as business owners think that what we do is brilliant. But it's not brilliant until your customer says it's brilliant. So you need to test it out with your customers to make sure you've got it right, because you could spend a lot of money, and just as you were saying, people tend to spend a lot of money, they're so pleased they've finished something, they go full steam ahead and they've missed the target by 10%, which means you've missed 90% of your customers. You're going to spend the same amount of money. It's worthwhile testing it before you launch it out. Make sure you then use that information, refine your offer. Then the next thing is to make sure the call to action is clear. So often I see call to actions and it's a bit wishy-washy. It's got to be a frictionless, that's like a one-click process. eBay, Amazon, one-click process. The details are already there. Make it easy for your customer to do business with you. So often businesses that I see fall down on this. The call to actions, you've got to tell them what you want them to do. You've already got them, they're really hungry and they're ready to go, and then they don't know what to do next. So really make sure that your call to action is one click, really simple, and really clear for the customer. Test it out. So often URLs, the links don't work. Test it, and it may have worked one day, not this. Keep testing it out. You don't want to lose your customer once you've got them to that point. So that is number 5. So that's the 5-step process, really. Being clear about what you want to achieve, being clear about your target group, being clear about your value, putting them together and testing it, and then the call to action. Make sure it's powerful enough. Don't start to lose them at that point. That's the point where they're all fired up and they're really hungry to go, and then it drizzles off. No, you really want to capture them then. You want to make it really simple. All right, so I hope that 5-step process has kind of magnetise you to actually go back and look at, this is the action. Look at what you're doing. Is your call to action really strong enough? Are you clear about your value? Is that coming out in the message? And your customers as well. Have you tested it? If not, are you going to pick up the phone today, test it out with one of your customers? Absolutely, you've got to do that. So hopefully you've found that really useful. Hopefully there's at least one thing that you've taken away from the presentation.